right, this is 20C or 26 CR 182, State versus Dennis Boyd. 5-count indictment. Ms. Tuttle, with regard to the indictment?
Your Honor, the state would move to dismiss counts 2 and 3 of the indictment prior to trial, but ask to renumber it so that counts 4 and 5 are now counts 2 and 3.
All right. Mr. Deeb?
No objection, Your Honor.
All right, so 2 and 3 will be dismissed. Count 4 will now become count 2, and count 5 will be count 3.
Thank you.
Anything else preliminarily?
Yes, Your Honor, we do have a signed stipulation. The parties have stipulated to the fact that the defendant does have a prior conviction, to the authenticity and admissibility of the certified copy of that prior felony OVI conviction, and to the chain of custody, authenticity, and admissibility of State's Exhibit 2, which is a buccal swab taken from the defendant in order to do a comparison of DNA.
All right, has that been signed by everybody?
That's been signed by all parties. And can the state move to admit those 2 exhibits now as well?
Yeah, go ahead. What exhibits are they?
1 and 2.
Any objection to that? I assume
Your Honor.
not. Okay. Let me see those, Laura. Okay, so 1 and 2 are admitted pursuant to the stipulation. Yeah, please. All right, anything else before we start?
We're prepared to proceed with opening statements.
Mr. Deeb, are you prepared to go?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Tuttle?
Actually, Your Honor, we would move for a separation of witnesses.
Granted.
And I would move to incorporate the indictment into my opening statement.
That's also granted.
Thank you. On October 20th, 2024, at about 3:20 p.m., the Mentor Police responded to the scene of a car crash. A motorcycle had driven directly into the back of an SUV. The rider was in the street and he was bleeding from his head. You'll hear that the driver of the SUV called for help, but the motorcyclist said, "No, don't call 911. You'll hear that the motorcyclist was the defendant, Dennis Boyd. You hear that an unidentified individual helped the defendant onto his bike, and while still bleeding from the head, the defendant drove away from the scene. Upon arriving to the crash scene, Mentor Police found blood in the roadway where the crash occurred and blood on a broken-off mirror to a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. That blood was swabbed from the roadway and sent to the Lake County Crime Lab, where it was determined to be the defendant's blood. The driver of the SUV was able to get a photograph of the defendant before he left the scene, and Mentor Police were able to determine that the motorcycle was registered to Dennis Boyd, who lived on Heather Hill in Mentor, Lake County, Ohio. Police responded to the defendant's residence less than 30 minutes after the crash. At his home, they located the motorcycle involved in the crash hidden inside of his garage. Additionally, police located the defendant, who appeared to have just recently showered and changed his clothing. You'll hear that when confronted with the details of the crash, the defendant denied any involvement. You'll learn that the defendant smelled of alcohol, had bloodshot, glassy eyes, and refused to perform standardized field sobriety tests. The parties have stipulated that the defendant has a prior felony OVI from 2015. He was then placed under arrest for OVI and began bleeding from his head while in the back of the police car. You'll see the blood was in the same location as it was in the pictures taken by Vanessa Clapp at the crime scene. The defendant was taken to the Mentor Police Department and then transported by ambulance to Lake West Hospital. You'll hear how he was observed at all times, how he was read the BMV 2255 and refused to submit to any chemical testing. You'll hear how he only complied once officers had a signed search warrant to take his blood, and how blood was drawn 3 hours and 35 minutes after the time of the crash. You'll further hear how this blood was sent to the Lake County Crime Laboratory for testing to determine blood alcohol concentration at the time of the crash, and then sent to Miami Valley Regional Crime Laboratory for an expert opinion regarding retrograde extrapolation. We'll hear from Tyler Meter and Kylie Daniel about their scientific methodology and testing, and that their results yielded blood alcohol concentrations well above 0.08. After you've heard all of this testimony, we'll ask that you find the defendant guilty of operating a motor vehicle under the influence, operating a motor vehicle under the influence with refusal to submit to a chemical test, and failure to stop after an accident. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. D.
My client was at work that morning. He got up, went to work stump grinding with his friend. He did ride his motorcycle. For that motorcycle, he did not have insurance. He normally puts it away after September. So we let his insurance lapse. It was a nice day, so we rode his motorcycle to his friend Chris's house. They fixed his stump grinder, then they went to his friend Otis's house where they did the stump grinding around 3 p.m. Around that time, he headed home from Madison. As he was driving home, he was on, let's say, Route 44. As he glanced away from the road on 44, prior to Lakeshore Boulevard, where he was getting off, the vehicle in front of him stopped very, very quickly. That was driven by Vanessa Clapp, and he did not have time to avoid the accident. He hit the rear of her vehicle, was thrown to the ground. He sustained some injuries, but nothing life-threatening or that appeared urgent to him. He picked up his motorcycle after addressing Ms. Clapp, and he told her not to call the police, and then he went home. And left that scene. At home, he started drinking, he interacted with his son briefly, went and showered, came back down, stepped down for a little bit, and then the police arrived. He was not drinking prior to the incident. However, when he got home, the fact that he was upset about what happened, and the fact that he didn't have his motorcycle endorsement, he figured that he was in trouble. So at that point, he had just been drinking and getting ready to watch the Browns game with his son. Prior to the accident, he had not been using alcohol, but after the accident, besides over-the-counter medication, Tylenol and ibuprofen, that's when he drank heavily. We believe that the impairment was because of that alcohol that he ingested after he returned home. Thank you.
Thank you. Your first witness?
Thank you, Your Honor. The state would call Vanessa Clapp.
Would you raise your right hand, please? The swear and testimony about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Have a seat.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Could you please state your name and spell your last name for the record?
It's Vanessa Clapp, like clap your hands with 2 P's.
And where are you employed?
Lake County Public Defender's Office.
What's your position there?
I'm the director of the office.
Is it safe to say you are familiar with many people in this room?
Yes.
Okay. And where do you live?
In Perry Village.
And is that in Lake County, Ohio?
It is.
Do you recall what you were doing on October 20th, 2024?
I do.
What were you doing that day?
I was headed out to go kayaking.
Okay. And was that a Sunday?
It was a Sunday, beautiful day.
Okay. You said you're going kayaking. Where were you going kayaking?
At Mineral Lagoons.
And about what time did you leave to get to the lagoons?
About 3 o'clock.
Okay. And you mentioned that it was a beautiful day.
Yes.
Could you describe the weather a little bit?
Sunny, warm, blue sky, dry, no rain.
And what route did you take from your home to the lagoons?
I went Route 2 to Route 44, headed north.
Okay. And that's all in Lake County, Ohio?
It is. I got off at, like I said, 44 North, which is in Menor.
And while you were driving, did anything eventful happen?
Yes.
What happened?
After I turned to head north on Route 44, I was driving to go at the 283 exit, and I passed Blackbrook. A car in front of me began to slow down suddenly and then came to a complete stop.
And is that how many lanes of travel?
It's 2 lanes headed north to the other direction. I was in the right lane.
And the car was right in front of you?
Yes.
And you were able to stop and avoid hitting that vehicle?
Yes.
Did you see what caused that vehicle to stop short?
No.
What happened next?
I looked in my rearview mirror immediately to see how the cars behind me were faring, and I saw a motorcyclist approaching, and hoped he was able to miss my car, but he wasn't. Okay. He struck the back and side passenger panel of the car.
And what happened after he struck your vehicle?
His motorcycle went flying off to the left of me, which would be the left lane, and he was ejected from his motorcycle and landed on his right side and his head hitting the ground.
And at that point, did you get out of your vehicle?
I did. Well, first I made sure no other cars were coming up, and then I got out.
And then what did you do after getting out of your vehicle?
Then I looked up toward, I saw that he was on the ground. I looked up toward the other car. The driver had gotten out and was headed our way. I also, by the way, started calling 911 right away because I was, there was an accident and I was fearful he was injured.
Okay. So the woman from the car that stopped short, she came and approached you guys?
She did.
Okay. And that was simultaneous to when you were calling 911?
Yes.
How close were you to the motorcycle operator?
About 6 feet away.
And was he able to get up?
He did. He stood up. An individual in a car behind me had come out of the car and had helped him to ride his motorcycle, set it up on its both wheels.
Did that motorcycle operator make any statements?
No, the only thing he said is, I told him I was calling 911 because there was an accident, obviously, and he said, don't call. But I said, too late, basically.
Okay. So after that passerby, I suppose, helped him ride his motorcycle, did he get on it?
He did.
And were you able to take some photographs?
I was?
Okay. If I showed you those photographs, would you recognize them?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to show you what's been marked as States Exhibit 3A and 3B. It'll appear on that little screen in front of you. And yeah, Tim, it'll be shown on your little screen too.
Thank you.
Do you recognize those photographs?
I do. Those were the ones I took that day after he got on his motorcycle and began to drive away.
And they fairly and accurately depict the scene from October 20th, 2024.
They do.
Your Honor, I would ask for permission to admit and publish.
Any objection to 3A and 3B?
No objection.
All right, they're admitted.
I was looking at 3A. About how far away were you from the defendant when you took that?
About 6 feet, maybe. Yeah, about 6, I think. I was standing at the back, towards the back of my car. The shadow on the ground is of the individual who came up and helped him to get his motorcycle sat up correctly.
And did you notice that the defendant was bleeding at all?
Yes,
Is that blood, the injury in this photograph at all?
it is. If you zoom in, it's actually at the top of his head. He's bleeding down the right side of his face by his ear.
Would you zoom in, Ms. Tuttle? Is that the blood that you
Yes.
speak of behind the ear? All right, moving on to State's Exhibit 3B. What is this picture of?
I snapped that as he was driving away. I moved behind him. That's my shadow. And I snapped the photo of him to get his license plate.
Gotcha. Thank you. So you said you were about 6 feet away from him, correct?
Yes.
Did you smell anything?
No.
Did he seem impaired to you at all?
No.
Do you have any training in identifying roadside impairment?
No.
And you said you called 911. Did the police respond to the scene?
They did.
Okay. And did they document the damage to your vehicle?
They did.
Okay. Can you tell us about the damage to your vehicle?
Yes. So his motorcycle hit the passenger rear part of the back of the car on the side. So I had damage, and the side was crushed in, and the back door was damaged, and there was damage to the back bumper.
And were you able to have that repaired?
I was.
And about how much did you have to pay in order to have that repaired?
$5,300 approximately. Insurance paid.
Okay. And were you able to drive that vehicle away from the scene?
I was for a little bit, and then it was felt unsafe to drive. It was kind of shaking, so I had it towed.
One moment, please. Going back to when the defendant was still on the scene, did you ask him to stay on the scene?
No,
Do you see the operator of that motorcycle in the courtroom here today?
I do.
Could you point where he's sitting and describe an article of his
Certainly,
clothing?
he's wearing a gray shirt sitting by Mr. Deeb.
Okay. Your Honor, may the record reflect that the defendant has, the witness has identified the defendant?
Yes.
One moment. Nothing further.
Ross.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Clapp, good to see you this morning. Report
How
in
are
a different
you?
capacity. That day, the woman that was driving in front of you, did you ever converse with her?
Yes,
Did she stay on scene?
No, she left after we had a conversation.
Did you ever figure out why she stopped so abruptly?
No.
Describe how she stopped. Was it like slamming on the brakes where you didn't quite have to screech your tires, or was it a slow stop?
She had begun to slow a bit and then just stopped. Not screeching tires, but just,
Very abruptly?
yeah,
How did you have to brake?
similar.
So,
I was slowing a bit and then I had to hit the brakes.
So it started as a slow stop, and then all of a sudden, boom, right to a complete stop?
Mm-hmm.
And were
Yes.
you at a complete stop when you were struck by the motorcycle?
Yes.
Approximately how long do you think you were stopped before impact occurred?
It was within seconds.
Very quickly?
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine it now. 5 seconds. It was very quick.
Very quick? And did it appear...
Felt that way at least.
Felt that way? I'm sure it did. Did it appear as though he tried to avoid you?
Yes, he was swerving. I saw him swerving,
So he was more towards
trying to get in the left.
more towards the middle of the vehicle when you first saw him, and then he kind of tried to get away?
No, he was more on the left side trying to get over, but he nicked me.
Did you feel that he had time to evade you?
No,
Because the way you had to stop with the vehicle in front of you, it was so quick that he wouldn't have had time to react?
that's correct.
And
That was my impression.
That's your impression, yes. How many words do you think you exchanged with him?
With the motorcyclist,
With the driver of the motorcycle.
5. I'm calling 911. That's basically it. He
And
said, "Don't."
when you had that conversation with him, you said that he was about 5 or 6 feet away from you. Was he that close? Was he closer at that point?
No, it was still probably about 6 feet away.
And you couldn't smell any alcohol.
No,
And as far as any other signs of impairment, did you see anything that would lead you to believe that he was under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
nothing.
You don't have any training in detecting roadside impairment, correct?
I don't have any training.
But in your experience, for what you do for a living with the Public Defender's Office, have you represented
Objection.
people?
Overruled.
Have you represented people on OBIs?
Yes, many.
Are you familiar with what police officers would do to investigate an OBI?
I am.
And knowing what the police would look for with your experience, did you see any of those signs of impairment? Erratic
Objection.
driving?
Well, she's already indicated by her answers that she didn't notice any signs of that
Okay.
nature.
So just to clarify, you didn't see any signs of impairment when you interacted with the officer, just to sum it up.
When I interacted with the motorcyclist, no.
How long do you think he was on the scene prior to him leaving?
It was very quickly, probably with a minute or so, he was up and gone.
Did he seem to have any trouble moving around?
No. Not at all.
Did you see him drive away?
I did.
Did you watch him drive away?
I did.
Did you see where he went?
Yes, he drove away and exited at 283 Lakeshore, which is the next exit. Pardon me?
From the pictures that we had just seen,
Right.
motorcycle, you can see that the exit is just up ahead.
Right, that's where he exited. He exited and went left.
When you watched him drive, did he appear to have any issues driving?
No,
He was able to ride straight, keep his bike in a normal
Yes.
operating?
yes, he was. It seemed fine to me.
Approximately how long until the officers showed up?
But maybe 5 minutes.
And when you spoke with the officers, you explained that the woman in front of you stopped just like you said, and you informed the officers that it didn't appear that he was under the influence or anything, correct?
Yes.
At that time, did it appear that the officers had a tentative conclusion as to what may have happened?
No.
I don't have any other questions, Your Honor.
Any redirect?
One moment, Your Honor. No.
All right, you may step down. Thank you. Next witness.
The state calls Sergeant Tyler Law.
What's the name?
Tyler Law, L-A-W.
familiar with the witnesses on this, but I am very familiar. I know they're all certified police officers. We would stipulate to the qualifications to the extent the state feels comfortable with it.
Any problem with that?
No, Your Honor.
All right, step forward, please. Raise your right hand. You swear testimony about to give us the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, have a seat. Ms. Tuttle.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you please state your name for the record, spelling your last?
Tyler Law, L-A-W,
And where are you employed?
Mentor Police Department.
What's your job title?
I am a sergeant.
Okay, how long have you been a sergeant for?
Today's my first day.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Were you working as a certified peace officer in Menor on October 20th of 2024?
I was.
And did you get a call to report to the scene of an accident on 44 North, just past Blackbrook?
I did.
Is that in Menor, Lake County, Ohio?
It is.
What was the nature of that call?
It was an injury accident between a vehicle and a motorcycle. While en route to the call, dispatch advised that the motorcyclist left the scene, was last seen traveling westbound on Lakeshore Boulevard.
Were you dispatched to that call at 3:20 p.m.?
Yes.
And what time did you arrive on scene?
Within 10 minutes of that,
Okay. Were you the first officer that made it to scene?
I was.
What did the scene look like when you arrived?
When I arrived, there was a SUV pulled off to the right side of the roadway. There was a female standing in the grass off to the right. She was identified as Vanessa Clapp.
Was her vehicle damaged?
It was. Looking at the back of her car, it was on the left rear. There was some damage to the vehicle.
Who was the reportedly injured party?
The motorcyclist.
Was the motorcyclist there when you arrived?
No.
Was the motorcycle there when you arrived?
No.
Were there any signs that a motorcycle had been there?
There was. A motorcycle mirror was found on the roadside.
Okay. Did you find any evidence that someone had been injured in that area?
We did. On the motorcycle mirror, there was a drop of a red substance that looked like blood. There was also some drops of a red substance in the roadway where the accident occurred that appeared to be blood.
Okay. Did you speak to Miss Clapp to figure out what had happened?
I did.
And what did you learn?
She advised that she had to quickly stop. A vehicle in front of her had stopped. She wasn't sure why. She had to slam on her brakes. The motorcycle was behind her and rear-ended her.
Was there any collision between Miss Clapp and the car in front of her?
No,
Okay, so that car was not involved in a collision?
it was not.
All right. Did you have any pictures of the man who was involved in the crash?
She did. She had a picture of the man that was involved in the crash as well as the motorcycle.
Were you able to view those?
I was.
Who called 911?
I believe Vanessa said that she advised a male on a motorcycle that she was going to call 911. And when she did so, he told her not to, and then he left the scene.
Okay. Were you the primary officer on this case, or did someone else take over the interview for you?
Someone took over the interview. This was my assigned zone for the day. I just happened to be there first. I was closer at the time.
Okay, so did Officer Miller take over for you?
That's correct.
And while he continued talking to Vanessa, what did you do?
I started looking over the scene for evidence to see if there's anything else that I could find.
Based on the photos you were shown, were you able to glean any information about who the rider of that motorcycle was?
We were, yes.
Tell me about that.
We were to run the license plate through our system and determine that it was registered to a Dennis Boyd.
And where did Dennis Boyd have his registered address as?
Heather Hill, which is an address in Menor.
Okay, and is that pretty close to where you were?
Yes.
So based on the fact that we know that this is a registered owner in Menor, just minutes from where you are, what do you decide to do next?
Officer Miller and I decided to go to Dennis's house to speak with him about the accident and to make sure that he was okay.
Okay, and do you know how many minutes later you arrived at Dennis's home?
From the time we left the scene?
Yeah.
Or within 5 minutes. It was very, very close.
Okay. Is there anything you noted when you were approaching the home?
The garage door was shut. Patrolman Miller was able to see into the windows on the top of the garage, and he noticed that the motorcycle was in the garage with its hazards on, the same motorcycle that we had pictures of.
And do we know it's the same motorcycle because it had the same license plate on it?
That's correct.
Did you knock on the door?
We did.
Okay, and who came to the door?
Dennis's wife came to the door.
Did you tell her you needed to speak with Dennis?
We did.
Did Dennis come to the door instantly?
No, it took a minute, but he eventually came to the door.
What did he look like when he came to the door?
His hair was wet. He was wearing different clothing than was in the photo that we had. He was barefoot. One thing I noticed right away when he stepped outside is his eyes were glassy.
Did you smell anything about his person?
I originally did not. I was probably 10 feet away. I then stepped closer, and I could smell a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage coming from his breath.
Did you notice a head injury?
Not at this time. I did not.
Do you see the defendant in the courtroom today? Do you see the man you saw at that house?
I did.
Can you identify him by an article of clothing?
He's wearing a button-up shirt.
Can you give me a little bit more than that, where he's located?
He's all the way to the left. He's wearing some glasses.
We can stipulate to identify my client, Your Honor.
All right, there's stipulation.
Did you and Officer Miller confront Dennis with the facts of the motorcycle crash?
We did.
Did he admit to that?
He did not.
Did he admit to leaving his house that day?
No.
Did he admit to crashing his bike?
No.
Did he admit to riding his motorcycle that day?
No.
Did he get confronted with those pictures that Miss Clapp showed you?
He did. Yes.
Did he admit that those were him?
No, he denied that it was him.
What did he say he was doing?
He said that he was at home, and when we arrived, he was sipping a beer watching the Browns game.
Okay. Based on your observations and his behavior, what did you decide to do next?
We walked him down to the roadway, to a flat surface, to conduct field sobriety tests.
Why did you take him down to the roadway to do that?
Just because it was a flat surface, it's easier for people to perform these tests than on a sloped surface.
Is the defendant's driveway sloped?
Slightly, yes.
Okay. Is there any other reason why you would bring somebody near your cruiser to do field sobriety tests?
Yeah, we can also get a better view from the dash cam on our cruisers.
Are you trained to do standardized field sobriety tests?
I am.
Do you have any extra training beyond the average officer in these?
Yes, I've been to ARIDE training, which is Advanced Roadside Impaired Driving Enforcement training. That was in 2018.
Okay. Are you trained and comfortable in the standardized field sobriety tests?
I am.
What test did you start with here?
The HGN test.
What is the HGN test?
It looks for nystagmus in the eyes, which is involuntary jerking in the eyes.
How did you perform that test?
I had Mr. Boyd stand at the rear of one of our cruisers. I gave him the instructions that he needed to keep his head still and follow the tip of my finger with his eyes and his eyes only. And that's how we started.
How did Mr. Boyd do with that test?
He stared straight forward. He did not follow my finger with his eyes.
Okay, so you said, please follow my finger, started to move your finger.
That's correct.
Did his head stay straight forward?
It did.
And his eyes stayed straight forward?
That's correct.
No movement at all?
No.
So what did you do when that happened?
I asked him if he understood the instructions and re-explained them.
Did he say he understood?
Yes,
Did you restart the test?
I did.
And what did Mr. Boyd do?
He continued to stare straight forward.
At this point, did you ask if he was going to take the test?
Yes, I believe actually Officer Miller asked him, are you going to refuse to do this field sobriety test? And he said, yes, I'm not doing them. Or
Did he refuse to take
he
any
refused to
further
take the
tests
test.
as well?
That's correct, yes.
So what happened after he refused to take the field sobriety tests?
He was placed under arrest
Where was he put after he was placed under arrest?
in the back of a police car.
Did you notice anything about him once he was in the back of the police car?
Yeah, that he had an injury to the side of his head.
And was that injury in the same location as the photo where Miss Clapp had showed you from the
Yeah.
side of the road?
Yes.
Was he bleeding from his head?
Yeah, he started to bleed, once he was under arrest.
Did you take him back to the station?
I did not.
What did you do?
I stayed on scene and did an inventory tow sheet for the motorcycle and waited for Patrolman Burton to arrive.
Okay, and did the two of you collect that motorcycle and then head back to the station for the day?
That's correct.
One moment. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Ross.
Good morning, officer.
Good morning.
Now, approximately what time do you think you went to Mr. Boyd's house?
I can't recall the exact time. I would say maybe 20 to 30 minutes after we arrived on scene at the accident.
You said that you interacted with Miss Clapp when you spoke to her.
That's correct.
Did she inform you how the operator of the motorcycle appeared?
She said that she asked him if he was okay, and he said that he was fine.
Did you guys ask her if he appeared impaired at all?
I did not. I believe Officer Miller did.
But were you standing right there when that conversation took place?
Yes, I believe so.
And when she was asked if he appeared impaired, she said no, correct?
That is correct, yes.
And you're familiar with Miss Clapp, are you not?
From this incident, yes.
You didn't know that she was a public defender at the time?
Actually, I did not realize that at the time, no.
Okay. Now, did you ask her if she smelled alcohol?
I did not.
Did Officer Miller?
I'm not sure if he did or not.
Okay. When you arrived at his house and he came to the door, his hair was wet.
That's correct.
So it appeared as if he had taken a shower?
Yes.
And you said at 10 feet you couldn't smell anything, but you took a step closer and you could smell a strong odor?
Yeah, a few steps. It wasn't one step. It was a few steps. I got up next to Officer Miller.
Okay, so you're five or so feet away from him and you could smell the odor?
That's correct.
And he was evasive with his responses. Would that be fair to say?
Yes.
What did he tell you he'd been doing that day?
He said he had been at home drinking beer and watching the Browns game.
Prior to showing up at his house, did you guys run his driver's license?
Yeah, I personally did not.
Were you informed by any other officers what his driving record was prior to going to his house?
I don't recall.
Did you
I know once we were on scene, I believe after he was arrested, I remember talking about his OVI history, but I don't recall before then talking about it.
You don't recall when you learned of that, but you do know you knew at the time he was arrested?
After he was arrested. Yes.
Okay. Did it appear as though he was obviously impaired when he came to interact with you and Mr. Miller, Officer Miller?
I wouldn't say obviously, but there was indications that he was impaired.
What were those indications?
His glassy eyes and the odor of alcohol.
What about his speech?
I don't recall any obvious things from his speech, but I clearly remember the eyes and the odor.
Did he have any other indications before he was placed into a patrol car, such as the way he was moving, his balance, being unaware of what the question was and failing to answer it, being belligerent, a mood swing, or anything like that?
No. It did seem when he stepped out of the house, he was a little uneasy on his feet. I mean, I wasn't afraid that he was going to fall down or anything, but it just seemed...
Do you know if he received any medical treatment?
I believe he did eventually, yes.
Were you aware that he was taken to the hospital
Yes.
and he was treated for a head injury?
That's correct.
In your training, when you're doing the HGN, the test, are you supposed to ask if they have any head injuries recently?
Yeah, I asked if he had any medical issues or any problems with his eyes or anything like that.
But is a head injury one of the things that they tell you to specifically address prior to giving the HGN?
I know there's some general medical questions. I don't know.
Would a head injury throw off the HGN?
It could.
Okay. And he had a pretty significant gash on the back of his head, correct?
Yes, there was a gash on his head.
And he needed medical treatment for that, as determined by the Mentor Police, correct?
Yes, by the Mentor Fire Department. We called them to analyze his injuries, and they determined to take him to the hospital.
Were you there during this interaction at the Mentor Police Department?
With the fire department?
Yeah, with the discussion about his medical care.
No.
You're just aware of it because you know the investigation?
Yes,
Back at the police department, did you interact with Mr. Boyd?
I did not.
After he was placed under arrest and taken back to the station, did you have any other interaction with him?
I did not.
When he interacted with the officers, other than denying any of the statements that you guys believed to be true, how did you interact with you and your fellow officers?
I'm
Was he
not sure what
polite,
you're.
cordial? He was engaging. He answered your questions.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't. There wasn't anything.
He wasn't being rude or anything like that.
No,
His demeanor was fairly calm.
I would say so.
Did he inform you that he had been drinking?
Yes.
From the odor that you could smell, are you familiar with the way different alcohols smell on someone's breath, such as beer or any other intoxicating liquors?
No, alcoholic beverage. I mean, I could smell probably a beer. I would say, but yeah.
Like beer versus whiskey, the way that would smell. Would they smell different?
Yes, they can smell different. Yeah.
Do
I mean,
you
if you were to put both of those in front of me, I think I could.
Well, if I took a drink or anyone took a drink and then you were to smell their breath, would there be a difference in your mind?
I don't believe so. No, the alcoholic smell is what I smell.
And the rate at which you drink alcohol affects the way the alcohol will affect someone's system, correct?
How quickly you drink it, is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
So the quicker you drink it, the quicker you would be impaired or intoxicated?
That's correct.
And depending on the type of alcohol you drank, it would have a different effect on a person during your investigations?
Correct.
At what point did you see the head injury? You said that was when he was placed in the vehicle?
Yes.
The entire time that you were interacting with him, were you facing him or were you around towards the rear of him, the side?
I was facing him. Yeah.
Did you see where his head injury was?
I believe it was on the right side of his forehead, or not his forehead, his head.
You're, for the record, you're indicating more like back towards behind your ear on the right side. Would that be fair? Like back behind the ear, more towards the rear?
I just remember it being on the right side of his head. Specific locations, I don't recall.
When you saw that injury, did it look like something that needed to be addressed with medical attention?
No, not that I recall. It wasn't. I don't believe it was bleeding at the time that I saw it.
Okay. So could you see that there was an open wound?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah.
Did he complain of any other parts of his body that were injured?
No, not to me. We did notice that he had some injury to his right index finger. He advised that was from a work injury.
What about his back, his neck, his legs, any other parts of his body?
I did not notice anything. No.
Okay. Approximately how long do you think it took him to come to the door? From the time, let me withdraw that question.
Yeah.
You interacted with his wife, and she came to the door in a normal fashion, right?
Correct.
Okay. And she immediately went to go get him at your
Correct.
direction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And shortly after that, he came to the door?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
Did you see him prior to him coming to the door?
No.
How were you guys able to observe the motorcycle?
There's windows on the garage door. Patrolman Miller's is tall, so he can he can
You guys
see.
are both over 6 foot tall, correct?
I am not over 6 foot tall.
Oh.
No, I'm maybe right at 6'5",
Okay.
I'd like to tell people I'm 6
I would
foot
have
tall.
I would have put you at 6 foot, but I know Officer Miller is well over 6 foot.
He is.
Okay. So you could see into those windows?
Yes, he could. I could not without. Maybe on my tippy toes I could see in there, but he could see right in there.
Did you have an opportunity to look through the window on your tippy toes and see the motorcycle?
I don't recall doing that.
No further questions, John.
Any redirect?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Did you and Officer Miller ask the defendant if he had sustained any injuries?
Yes,
And he denied that?
correct.
You asked him about bleeding from his head, right?
Yes, that was talked about. Yes,
He denied that?
correct.
Was he in a fresh white shirt at the time that you saw him?
Yes,
Was there any blood on that shirt?
no.
Did the defendant keep asking you, what are we doing here?
Yes, he did question what we were doing multiple times.
And was that in response to you performing your job?
That's correct.
Was that in response to the field sobriety tests?
Mm-hmm.
Was that a
Correct.
yes?
Yes.
And was that in response to asking him questions about the crash he was just involved in?
Yes.
He didn't tell you the truth, did he?
No.
No further questions. Thank
You
you.
recross.
Just briefly. Pretty much any question you guys asked him that would have been related to operating a motorcycle that day, he denied, correct?
That is correct.
He admitted to drinking, and he denied leaving his house, correct?
That is correct.
He denied operating his motorcycle,
Correct.
and he denied the injuries.
Correct.
So if he would have admitted that he was injured, that would have been him admitting that he was operating his motorcycle that day?
That would have been more evidence towards that. Correct.
Yeah. I mean, you would have, if he said, yeah, I'm injured, and he had a fresh injury, it would have gone along with what you guys thought had happened.
Correct.
Nothing further.
All right, you may step down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next witness.
The state calls Patrolman Mark Burton.
Burton?
Burton, B-U-R-T-O-N.
Will you raise your right hand, please? You swear testimony about gives the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right, have a seat.
Does the defense again stipulate to the qualifications of this witness?
For every officer that I've ever been an officer, they're going to call it same stipulation.
All right.
May I proceed? Good morning.
Morning.
Can you please state your name for the record, spelling your last?
Mark Burton, B-U-R-T-O-N,
And where are you employed?
City of Mentor, Police Department,
And what is your job title?
Patrolman.
Are you also an evidence technician?
Yes.
Were you working on October 20th of 2024?
Yes.
And did you get called out to the scene of a crash on Route 44 North just past Blackbrook?
Yes,
Is that in Mentor Lake County, Ohio?
it is.
What did you see when you arrived at that scene?
A vehicle that was struck and some vehicle parts on the side of the roadway.
Was there anything you observed in the actual roadway?
Some red substance that might have been blood, fresh blood.
As an evidence technician, what did you do to document that scene?
Scene was photographed and eventually samples were obtained of the red substance.
What did you use to photograph the scene?
A Nikon digital camera.
Is that department issued?
It is.
How are those photos stored from that Nikon camera?
Onto a flash drive, which is on the camera, and then uploaded to our evidence computer.
Are you the one that personally uploads them to the evidence computer?
Yes.
Would you recognize the photos you took of the scene if I showed them to you today?
Yes.
We're going to pull up State's Exhibit 4, and that is 4A through H. We're going to scroll through these pictures for you. Do you recognize those photos?
Yes.
Are they a fair and accurate depiction of the scene as you saw it on October 20th, 2024?
Yes.
The state moves to admit and publish Exhibit 4A through H.
Any objection to 4A through H?
No, Your Honor.
All right, they're all admitted.
All right, let's start with 4A.
Does he have the clicker?
He does. Can you not touch the clicker for 1 second? It's connected to the same mouse. Okay. We're here at State's Exhibit 4A. What do we see here?
See 44 North, we see the vehicle that was struck off to the right side of the berm.
Okay. Is that at the 283 exit?
Yes.
Just in the distance?
Yes.
All right, let's go to 4B. Can you just go to the next one? What do we see in Exhibit 4B?
Part of the vehicle trim from that belonged to that Jeep, and also a small mirror which appeared to be from a motorcycle.
When you say part of the vehicle trim, is that the like boomerang shaped item that we see in the middle of the screen?
Yes.
And the mirror, is that circular item just to the left of it?
Yes.
Okay. 4C. What is exhibit 4C?
That is the mirror and the back of the mirror that sheared off of the motorcycle with red substance, which appears to be blood.
Okay. Let's go to 4D. What is this?
That would be the mirror and also the trim piece from the vehicle.
Okay, so this is just the other side view of what we previously saw?
Yes.
Right. 4E. What are we seeing in 4E?
There was some splatters of red substance on a roadway where the accident occurred.
Okay, is that your shadow in the bottom of the photo?
It is.
And are the splatters of blood in that left lane of travel?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to 4F. I believe we can see them better there. Okay, can you show us with that pointer where those splatters of blood are? If you push the top button, that should give you a red dot to show us. Okay, so those, you're circling
This
in
area
the
right here.
center of the photo near the bottom.
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going to go to 4G. What are we seeing here?
The rear of the vehicle that was struck and the damage to the left side from the impact.
Okay. And 4H. What are we seeing here?
Again, the damage from the vehicle and the missing trim piece that was in the roadway.
Okay. So with all of this information, did you collect any of the physical evidence in the roadway?
The mirror was collected.
Okay. And did you do any swabs of the roadway itself?
Yes.
How do you take swabs from a roadway?
It's a new collection kit, which is swabs in a sealed envelope, and then water that comes in little tubes. I forgot the exact name of the water. Is used to moisten the tip of the swab itself, and then the evidence is collected with the moistened swab and then placed back in the pouch.
Do you wear gloves while you do this to avoid any contamination?
Yes.
All right. So what did you take swabs of?
The roadway, the spots of red substance in a roadway at that point, and later on the mirror and the red substance that was on the back of that mirror.
Okay. So we have... Would you recognize those swabs from the roadway if I showed them to you today?
Yes.
I'm approaching with what's been marked for identification purposes as States Exhibit 8A and 8B. Do you recognize those?
Yes.
What are they?
Swabs of roadway, 2 different areas.
Is 8A marked swab of roadway 1
Yes.
and 8B is marked swab of roadway 2?
Yes.
And those are in the same or substantially the same condition as when you collected them?
Yes.
State moves to admit exhibits 8A and B.
Any objection to 8A or 8B?
No.
They're admitted.
Right? You said you also swabbed the back of that motorcycle mirror.
Yes.
And did you mark that swab as DNA swab MC, meaning motorcycle?
Probably, yes.
Would you recognize that if I showed that to you today?
Yes.
Approaching with States Exhibit 9. What's that I just handed you?
A DNA swab with MC from the motorcycle written on it?
Is that in the same or substantially the same condition as when you packaged it?
Yes.
State moves to admit Exhibit 9.
Any objection to 9? It's admitted.
After you were done collecting evidence and documenting the scene, did you ever go to the defendant's home?
Yes.
And what did you do at the defendant's home?
The motorcycle was moved out of the garage and then photographed, and then the motorcycle was also swabbed for DNA evidence.
Okay. What do you do with those swabs once they are collected and labeled?
They were placed on evidence?
Okay, and then are they eventually submitted to the Lake County Crime Lab for testing?
They can be, yes.
Were these submitted for testing?
Eventually they were.
Okay. Did you take any photos of that motorcycle at the defendant's home?
Yes.
Would you recognize those if I showed them to you today?
Yes.
Pulling up States Exhibit 5. Those will appear on your small screen. We're going to scroll through those, it's Exhibit 5A through G. Do you recognize those?
Yes.
Are those photographs that you took of the defendant's motorcycle?
Yes.
Do they fairly and accurately depict the motorcycle as it looked on October 20th when you took those photos?
Yes.
State moves to admit and publish Exhibits 5A through, is it H?
G, I think you said G.
A through G.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
All right, they're all admitted.
What are we seeing here in Exhibit 5A?
The motorcycle owner's residence.
Okay. And what is this?
The motorcycle.
What can we note from the motorcycle from this picture?
There was some damage on the left side.
Can you show us where that damage is that you're noting?
We have damage up here where the mirror would have been.
And would that mirror that you found on the roadway fit right in that part of the bike?
Yes.
Does the mirror from the roadway look the same as the mirror on the right side of the bike?
Yes.
Okay, what other damage do we see?
There's also damage down here. Looks like to the saddlebag area.
Any other damage that we can see or anything of note in this photo?
Possibly this bar right here from making contact. It's all scraped up.
Okay. Let's go to 5C. What do we see here?
The rear of the bike,
Okay, are we able to clearly read the license plate on the bike here?
we can, and also the missing mirror.
Okay. Is the plate on that bike the same as the plate in the photos that were provided by the eyewitness to the crash?
Yes.
All right. Can we tell anything about the front right side of the bike?
Yes. Damage from probably the initial impact, which this bar being bent in.
Okay. Let's take a look at 5D. What are we able to see here?
The damaged bar, also some drops of red substance, which possibly be blood.
Okay. 5E. What's this?
The missing, where the missing mirror was, and also some fresh blood on the left control area,
Okay.
or red substance, which appears to be blood.
5F.
The same thing from the previous photo.
So there's more blood?
More
just
blood,
in this
yes.
picture? Okay. And 5G.
Some appear to be smeared blood on the seat area and also here on the lower portion of the fuel tank.
Is there a scratch there?
It looks like scuff with some possibly smeared red substance in there.
Okay. And these photos were stored and maintained in the same way as the ones you discussed in Exhibit 4?
Yes,
Was this bike eventually towed?
it was.
One moment. I have no further questions. Thank you.
Good morning, Officer Burton.
Good morning.
Did you ever interact with Mr. Boyd?
No.
What happened with the blood swabs that you took?
They were placed into evidence at that point.
And after they were evaluated, did you learn the results?
I did not know, not personally.
You never checked with the crime lab to see what anything came back as?
No, they were. I didn't know when they were being sent out. They were initially just placed in evidence.
How long have you been an officer, Officer Burton?
With Menor for 20 years.
20 years. You've done a lot of accident scenes, correct?
Sure.
Now, with the pictures and the damage you just described, be fair to say that it's when you see the vehicle damage to the SUV and then the bike, were they consistent?
Yes.
And that right bar, I believe it was in 5C that you would describe, that was bent in, that would appear to be where he struck the vehicle?
Appear to be, yes.
Okay. Did you ever, even though you didn't interact with him, did you ever see Mr. Boyd?
Just at the residence, I believe.
Was he already under arrest and placed in a Menor Patrol car?
I don't recall at that point.
Did you see him standing? Or you don't recall?
I don't remember.
Okay. Other than the accident and the blood that you collected, did you have any other part of the investigation as far as determining any level of impairment or investigation as to Mr. Boyd and his condition at the time of the accident?
No.
Nothing further on.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, you may step down, thank you.
Thank you.
Why don't we take about a 10-minute break, okay?
All rise.